Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here coming to you live from Escondido in California, where we got to start the day with a little dance in the rain. I don't know if you saw my post earlier, but from this morning, but it was bucketing down when I let Zephy out of her crate this morning, and so we've got this routine where I get up probably about an hour before I want to get up. Although I'm a pretty early riser anyway, so I get up an hour. Beforehand, before I absolutely need to get up. And I let Zephy out of her crate and she comes back to bed and cuddles up with me. And I have this big body pillow down one side of the bed, and then there's a gap where she snuggles up and then there's me. So if you look at the picture, you'll see her snuggled up against the body pillow. And I said, oh, it's raining, we can go out and dance in the rain. And I got glared at. Yes, no, she wasn't happy. And then it was like, it's days like this, you sort of stay snuggled up in bed and not have to worry about getting up and all of that sort of thing. But then I thought about all the cool stuff that I had to do today, and all the adventures that were waiting for today, that I was sort of like, screw it, I'm just getting up. And she can come with me. And so when we got outside, she stayed under the awning. I went out, danced in the rain, and she was just sort of like, she wouldn't even look at me. And she's not quite sure about this dancing in the rain thing, but she wouldn't even look at me. So it was kind of funny. But we did get a walk. The rain did stop as we were about to leave for the walk, just after my little dance. The rain did stop, so she did not get wet. Her paws may have, but she didn't. And I also want to give a huge birthday shout out to my very dear friend and mentor Casey, wishing him a very, very super fantastic sparkling birthday for today. Hope it has been full of lots of love and laughter for you, and may there be many more unicorns, leprechauns, and rainbows in your future. So yeah, my dear friend, it's his birthday today, so I'd like wishing people birthdays. And Zephy has learned how to demand hugs. So during the day when I'm working, she's busy. She'll play running up and down the RV. She'll go get toys out of her toy box and all that sort of stuff. And then she likes to take her afternoon naps, or her morning naps and her afternoon naps. And she gets up on the couch and curls up and goes to sleep. So I get to the point where I work for an amount of time. I get up to have a break. I walk around. I walk over. She's all curled up, all snugly. So I would just pick her up and give her say, "Mommy needs a hug," and pick her up, cuddle her up, and scratch her belly, scratch her under her chin, scratch her under her ears, and all that sort of stuff. And before she starts wriggling, I just put her back down. Well, it didn't happen today. It didn't happen yesterday either. That's what she was doing. It didn't happen today. So we went out for our walk. We've been going for walks around lunchtime, stretch the legs a little bit, and we stopped off at our friend's RV over behind us. And she was just whining the entire time. And I had the treats there. We're doing training with her as well, because when we're out and about with distractions, I try to use that to help with her training and stuff. Bribery and corruption with treats works just about every time. And she was all whining, and she kept jumping up on me, and I was like, what on earth? And my friend said to me, she says, maybe she just wants a cuddle. And I'm like, huh. So I picked her up and out of my arms, her tail's going like this. And she just like, oh. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's missing our hugs. So then when we got back then she starts wriggling, it's time to get down. So off we went and carried on with our walk. And then later on this afternoon, I was preparing some food. Oh, I have to tell you about the gas stove too in a minute. Preparing some food, and she's jumping up on me, and I'm like, no, you can't get any of this food. And then I thought, well, hang on, I wonder if she wants another hug. So I just scoop her up, give her another, her tail's going like this, and she just, and snuggles in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she is now demanding hugs. If I don't give her hugs, she now comes up to me, whines like crazy, jumps up on me with her front paws, and so to say, pick me up and give me a hug. So she is now demanding her hugs. It is absolutely hilarious. So back to the gas stove. So yesterday I went to use the gas stove and it wouldn't light. I was like, damn it. And so this morning so after I got rid of the smell of the gas, because you could hear the gas coming out and yet the clicker was clicking, and I was like, oh, I wonder if that little thingamabob's come off the whatchamacallit that causes the spark. So I lifted up took the grill pieces off, lifted up the lid piece so you can see the actual underneath of the burners and all that sort of thing. And sure enough, the thingamabob had come off the whatchamacallit, and so I plugged them back in again, and we had a spark, and I was able to cook. So I was like, yes, I fixed my gas oven, my cooktop, so I could go cooking again. Yay! I love it when I achieve things. So yes, so got was able to cook with that too. And then I learned about the power of your phone. Did you? Oh, there's messages on there. Oh, they'll have to wait. Um, did you know that you can send a series of text messages and it sends somebody a postcard or a card? I was like, that is really cool. So I typed into the text thingy there, just typed hi to the number that you got to send it to, and it comes back and says, would you like to send a card or a postcard? And you tell what you want to send and what's the full name of the person you're sending it to. You tell them upload the photo you want to put on the card, and then what's the message, and then what's their address, and you put all that in, and it goes, thank you, and it sends a card for you, like through text messaging. It's like technology. Gonna go with it. And I'm like, this is gonna be really, really cool. And the cool part is that when I start my traveling on the 3rd of February, when I start traipsing across the country and everything else, I can take photographs in different places, put them on a postcard, and send them to my grandkids. It's like, that is so cool. I can send my grandkids cards. I can send my parents cards. Just put little messages on there about the trip as we're going, and send the kids cards as well. And this is so cool. So yeah, all from a text message on your cell phone. If you want to know more about it, let me know. Then I was having a great conversation with a person in my mastermind group, and because I'm taking time to get to know the people in the mastermind group, because some of the people live close by where I get to see them if I'm in person in LA, but some of them don't. And so this was one that doesn't live in the area. And so we got on the thing and we start talking. We've got lots of stuff in common. And he starts, and I said, well, tell me about, and he's also has a travel business as well. I said, well, tell me about your travel business. And so he starts talking about his business, and there's this one humongous project that I'm going to get off the ground this year. It requires a lot of background work first in order for us to be able to start this thing. And he's sitting there talking, and I'm going, he has the same kind of goal that I have. And so then I said, well, let me tell you about my project. So I tell him about my project, and he's like, that's basically what I'm trying to do. So we could end up joining forces and doing a collaboration on getting this project out together. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. So it was kind of fun to have a conversation with somebody who was wanting to do the same basically has the same project goal that I have, and there's a possibility that we could come together, but we ran out of time to talk because I had to go on another call. So we're going to definitely have more conversations about this. So you never, ever know where things are going to come from. So when you start putting your goals out there, you've got the date set and you've committed to doing them, and you start going up, you never know where help is going to come from. And this was one of the huge things that I learned today. It's sort of like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought. But because I asked to speak to these type of people, he happens to be in the same business that I'm in, and just in a get to know you conversation, his goal comes out about what he's wanting to do with his business, and I'm sort of like, that's basically what I'm doing. So there could be a way that we could work together with that. Who knows? You never, ever know where leads are going to come from. It is amazing. I was just like, mind blown. Yes, mind blown. And it's messing with my mind now, because I still can't believe that I found somebody who has a similar goal with me, and there's a good chance that we could collaborate on that. So it's kind of like, yay. I did not get any more planning done on my itinerary today. I've checked out some campsites where I want to go to after El Paso, but I haven't yet heard back from the campground. They say that they have the reservation, but it's not confirmed until we receive an email, and I've yet to receive the email. It's been over 24 hours. So tomorrow morning they will be getting a call. I would have called them today, but I got a little tied up, and by the time I went to call them, it was past their office hours. Because and then I suddenly thought, oh, I'm really going to have to watch my travel times when I am going from west to east, because I'm going to be losing time as I go. Think about that, because it may say that if I leave at 9:30 in the morning and I've got and my trip thing tells me 4 hours with stops included, to me that's 1:30. It's actually 2:30, because I'm going to be in a different time zone by then. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to so watch this, figure out where all the time zone changes occur so that as I'm driving, because I have one day where I think my longest one is almost 5 hours. So I have to be very careful with that one, making sure that I stick to my time or even leave a little earlier than I plan, because normally I want to be on the road no later than 9:30. So, maybe I get on the road at 8:30 that morning, because then I've got 5 hours. And so instead of being 1:30 in the afternoon, it'll be 2:30 in the afternoon. So I have to make sure I arrive at the campsite where I'm going to in daylight, so I have a chance to set up in daylight and check the campground out and all that sort of stuff, and take Zephy for a walk in the daylight, and instead of arriving at night trying to get set up and going around a place that I'm not familiar with a dog, trying to get her to do her thing, because she doesn't like going around the site. So I've discovered that she doesn't like doing her business anywhere near the RV. She likes to be away from the RV. The closest she has ever gone to the bathroom around the RV is 2 sites away. So she's very particular about that one. So I suddenly thought today, oh my gosh, I'm going to be changing time zones, but I'm not going to be gaining any time. I'm actually going to be losing an hour on some of my drives because I'm crossing time zones. So now I have to take that into account when I'm driving, because I could be arriving later in the day than I had originally planned. So it's like, this is going to be an interesting challenge, because when I'm coming the other way, I'm going to be gaining hours. So it's kind of like, this is really cool. So you got to think of these things when you're driving. Because we didn't have that issue when we were coming from Virginia to California, because we were gaining an hour every time we crossed a time zone. We gained another hour. So, but this time I'm going to be losing an hour heading from California to Florida every time I cross a time zone. But then as I zigzag my way across the upper states and into Canada and stuff, I'm going to be gaining time. It's mind-boggling. I will leave you with that thought for tonight. So tomorrow is Saturday, and it is graduation day for Zephy from her training class. It's week 6. It's the final lesson for the day, and we have graduation. And they did have an ice cream machine that made doggy ice cream, but it broke. And they normally bring in a cup for all the dogs. So it's like, But apparently the store also sells frozen treats and happens to have some doggy ice cream there. So maybe I'm going to have to check the ingredients first. Maybe she will get some of that. We might bring it home first and give her just a little bit. Now put some more in the freezer and give her a little bit just to see how she does, because I have to be careful about introducing new foods to her. Because if she has too much of one thing, it could end up having an effect at the other end. So, but tomorrow she graduates from her beginner's class, so that's kind of exciting. And we're already working on other things, like she'll sit, she'll shake, she'll high five you. She's getting good at going down, not so good at doing push-ups. And push-ups is having them in the down position, then go to sit, then back to down, then back up to sit. When you tell her to sit when she's down, she just looks at you as I say, I'm already down. And you're just going to tell me to go down again. Like, she likes to anticipate. But we're trying to, in some cases it's good, but most of the time we don't want her anticipating. We just want her to follow the commands. So it'll be a challenge tomorrow. We shall see. But I did not take her harness off today until we came back from our 3rd walk, because if I tried that, I was scared I was going to get another angry dog at me again, and I didn't want that. So instead, she just demanded hugs, which was nice because I like giving her hugs. But now she is curled up in a ball at the very back of her crate. She's already put herself to bed. She's like, I'm done. She's done all of her playing. She's done all of her peeing and pooping, and she's now in for the night. So it means I get a little bit of time. But anyway, I am out of here because we got a busy day tomorrow. I have to call up to see if I'm required for jury service tomorrow. I have to call the campground in El Paso to find out if we are staying there or not, if we are confirmed, and where is my confirmation email with my confirmation number. And then we have our final day of training. And I got word too from Teresa that she said that according to the information she got from the shippers, is that my really cool boots that I ordered from her, remember the purple shoes that I showed you? So my boots are supposed to be arriving tomorrow. So after our training class tomorrow, we're going to head over, pick up the mail and see if the boots are there. If not, might have to go Monday if they're open Monday, because it's Martin Luther King Day. So I don't know if the mail place is open Monday. I know there'll be no mail delivery on Monday. But we'll see if they're open Monday, we'll go Monday and get them then. But anyway, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We will let you know how Zephy did on her last day at beginner's training, on her last day of her course. And if I get the boots, I will show you my boots. They are really cool. I can't wait to see them and try them on, and it's going to be so much fun. But yeah, but we will definitely be keeping up with training. We're still going to do our little training sessions throughout the day. It's just, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there is what we do. And then she just amazes me, and when I'll give her a command the first time and she does it straight away. But then trying to get her to repeat, now that's another problem we have to sort out. She may do it the very first time you give her the command, when she's following your hand with the treat in it and you're giving her the signal of what you want her to do. But then you try to get her to do it a second time and she's sort of like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. No, you already got it once. I'm not doing it again. So I hope you are all having a super fantastic sparkling day, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. Hey, konera.